I'm here today with 5 different types of keyboards that you can choose from with very different characteristics, and I have one that's very cool with a screen here as a split keyboard that I'm very eager to show you, but I'll get to that in a second. Let's first go to the most basic one, and one I think that everyone knows. It's a Logitech, and this is one of the most premium models that Logitech has. It is the MX Keys S, and it's really cool. So what you get here, I think, is one of the most premium business keyboards that are around. So very low keys, very easy to type, a very low travel distance. So if you type a lot, I think this is one of the best ones to get in like a business situation. Of course, this isn't a mechanical keyboard. So you also have mechanical keyboards with switches that have a little bit more of a like a thok or a typewriter type of feel, and that's something that a lot of people also really need. Now if you get a keyboard like this, it's nice to get like a solid large one, so you get also a numpad here in the corner, and I think a lot of people also want that if they're doing business things like entering digits into an Excel spreadsheet, for example. And the fun thing about this one, you also get something to put your wrist on. So that's nice as well. So you don't get carpal tunnel syndrome, which is always nice to not get. So this is like a premium version of something you could get for like business purposes. This, of course, is very sturdy. It's all metal all the way around this chassis, and you can use this via Bluetooth. So you can take this anywhere. It's not wired. So that is also a nice feature. I also like to have my keyboards wired all the time. Now, the next thing is you can have this mechanical keyboard, which is also nice. This is more of like a gaming keyboard. I think a lot of mechanical keyboards have like this RGB type stuff. So this is like the RGB lights that you have in there, as you can see. And I really like this one. This is the Aula version, the Max. And this doesn't have any lettering on the keycaps themselves, but rather in the light that glows through it. So I think that's a very cool design choice. When you look at it like this, you can easily see them when you type. And this is more of a thok. Can you hear that? And this one doesn't. This is very quiet. So this is more of a thok. You can get mechanical keyboards like this with different types of switches. One of them that you can choose are silent switches, so you don't have that thok, but still that feel of a typewriter when you're typing on it. This has a lot more travel distance between the keys and the keyboard itself, so you have to push down a little further than with something like this. Some might prefer that. I think a lot of people that type a lot do often prefer mechanical switches because you do get a more tactile feel when you type. So why I like this one is obviously for the design here. It's still quite light and portable, so I can put this just in my backpack when I go off to work. So that's nice. You have a little bit of a display here, so you can see everything, all your settings here on the keyboard, and also the time and the battery life. And I think that's very nice to have for a Bluetooth keyboard like this one, to have the battery life, because I always forget to charge this and then it's suddenly out of charge, and I don't really like that. So having like the battery right in there, I think that helps a lot, and I mean a lot. So this is my favorite mechanical keyboard. That's obviously a different choice than like more of a business type keyboard with the Logitech right there. Now, if you really want to go portable, something like that keyboard is obviously very nice to have, but you can also have a travel keyboard, and this is a foldable keyboard. I think you have a couple of brands that are really big in this. Samsung is one, ProtoArc is another. It's a little bit more premium those, but I like the form factor here. It's very small, and you also have a trackpad built right in. So sometimes I take this with me when I work just on my phone. I use the Samsung DeX on the S25 Ultra a lot to just work without my laptop if I'm traveling. And something like this where you have a keyboard and then a trackpad as well. You don't even need to bring a mouse. So I think that's a nice option here as well. So this obviously is my favorite foldable keyboard. I've done a full review of all of these different types of foldable keyboards, which I'll link to, so you can check that out. But I think this is one of the best ones. The quality isn't great. So typing, it isn't great. You also just need to get a little used to having a smaller keyboard like this when you're blind typing like I do a lot. So when I bring this, I always have to look at the keyboard a little bit more than I would with like a full keyboard like something like this. for example. And also the travel distance is really low, so you don't get really a tactile feel here from typing, not even as much as with the Logitech. So it's just an affordable way to bring a keyboard with you, which is very lightweight. So that's why I like something like this as well. That's another different type of keyboard. Now, before we get into this one with the screen, which is really cool, I have another type of keyboard, which is a wired keyboard like this, but it is a split keyboard. And this is the Kinesis Freestyle II, and this has a wire here, so you can connect this to your computer, your laptop or your desktop, and then you can split this keyboard up in two parts. So this really helps with carpal tunnel syndrome and having an ergonomic way of typing, because it's a more natural way of having your hands. When you put it like this, you don't have to move your wrists around as much, so you can just move this out of the way and then have a typing experience here. This, of course, works. I'm not really used to this. So this obviously has a longer learning curve than some of the other keyboards here. But some people swear by this type of keyboard because it helps them with wrist problems really well. Because this one is a nice one, it's wired. It also has a wire between the two parts, so you can move this far. It's about 9 inches to say on the website. And then so you can connect them, if you want, connect them together with this piece of plastic here. So they won't move if you prefer to use them that way some of the time. But this is also a type of keyboard that you can choose, the split keyboard. Now that brings me to our last keyboard, which is a little bit best of both worlds maybe. It is a Bluetooth keyboard, so you can use these two parts and connect them together, so you have just one big keyboard here. The travel distance isn't as much as like a mechanical keyboard like this one. This is just a little bit of a different feel here, but I really like the design of this one. And this is a premium brand, Mobile Pixels, and they have this Tetra keyboard. So you can snap this together, or you can have this as a split keyboard, like so, depending on how you like to type. This is the most natural way of typing for me. So the quick Fox, but you can also just move this together and then use this as a normal type of keyboard here. But with the Mobile Pixels Tetra, you also get this wired screen here as an addition, and this opens up a lot of possibilities to customize this and use this in different setups. So you can have this in the middle, so you have a split keyboard with your arms just out wide, so you still have that split keyboard setup here, and then use this screen as a second screen for like your macros. So you can have different macros in here for productivity, for web, and you can all customize these to fit your workflow. In this case, you can open Word, PowerPoint, Excel just with the push of a button, and then that will open the app on my computer screen, or I can move like my Trello board on here, or your Slack board, so you can see your messages right on this extra screen, and it doesn't take up real estate on your desktop or on your laptop computer. So that's pretty nice. And you can move all of these around in any configuration that you like. So these work with Bluetooth both, so they are connected with your computer and you can just type away. They don't need to be connected to this base station, but the base station does need a wire to go through to your computer to be able to use that second screen. So if you want that second screen, you can plug that in, but you can always just use this without the screen. So that's pretty nice as well. And I can still use this with my mobile phone when I'm on the go. I just can't use the screen. So that's a little bit of a different way of looking at things. Now, I really like the design here. It has multiple setups. You can use this clicked in and then this to the side, move these over just a little bit like here, or move this to the middle. And I have multiple setups, and everything clicks together really fancy with a magnetic snap. And I think that's really cool and really inventive. You can just add a screen to here, or use these macros, which is pretty cool. As you can see, you have this bar right underneath here. So it's still like the second screen of your laptop, just with that macro setup, the macro app here from the Mobile Pixels Tetra itself. And I really like the design. So you have these very retro type of pixely letters, which is really, really cool, and it really speaks to me. And this is what you can get for like a premium product in this category. So there's also the split keyboard category, just a very cool way of working with it. So these are all the different types of keyboards you can choose from to, well, really work on your projects. And I hope this video has helped you to see the differences here and make your choice.